Good evening, everybody. Today is November 18th, 2020, or November 19th, 2024. Wow. It's the Hannah City Village Council meeting. If everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. For those who do not know, our former mayor, Mr. McIlerney, passed away yesterday evening, so we'll have a little longer moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you may be seated. Ryan, could you, I know you're close with them over there, can you find out what his arrangements are and let us know?
I will.
So we can do something for the family or in memory of Bill.
Yeah, we'll do.
So was that 2 mayors ago? Before Fred?
Yes.
Yep.
12 years?
Yeah, he served 12 years. He was a teacher, basketball coach.
Basketball referee.
Yeah, referee after that even.
He
Yeah.
was my referee, right?
Principal
Yeah.
and mayor.
Mm-hmm.
An all-around good guy.
Yes.
Yep.
It was.
That's when I was a kid.
Go ahead, Lonnie. Go ahead,
He
Lonnie.
was always jolly.
I like Bill. Bill's a good guy. On November 12th, my mom's sewer backed up in her basement, and we hired some plumbers to come out, try and fix it, figure out the problem. Come to find out, Friday, the line that was supposedly leaves my mother's house was plugged. They plugged it when they lined up the sewers. Hair did. I heard they were told that it was a dormant line, and that's why it got plugged. They come out Friday night and unplugged it, and everything's been fine since. We've incurred a lot of time and money into this that I don't believe we should have. I mean, my mother, we've only given what the first plumbers that come out, we've only paid them so far, but we have another bill coming. So I was wondering, what's going to happen with that is what I'm.
Brian and I have spoken.
Yeah, I understand you talked to Sarah today on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, I told her to tell you, and I hope she did, that it's on us. It's
Okay.
our fault.
She did, but I just, I want to hear it from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're going to cover it. If you just once you get invoices, you're done, you bring them in.
Okay.
And I think Jim told your mom that as well. Maybe she
I
did.
don't know. We need the basement cleaned up because it's black.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
do you guys have any recommendations on who we call Blue Sky? They're high.
Is that who took over for
Over more than
Mentals?
Mental.
That who bought Mentals
Yes.
out? Yeah.
It's $2,500. And I thought, it's
Oh,
a
that's
little
not surprising.
basement.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
Really?
It's not bad.
Yeah. I thought it was high, so.
Well, I thought you were gonna say a lot higher number than that when you said they were high.
I know.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
We worked with somebody before. I'll make a note to ask Jim.
Okay. I know probably Stanley Steamer probably does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that who we used last
That's
time?
who we used last time.
Service Pro.
Service.
Oh yeah, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We used Stanley Steamer last
Did ya?
time. But get a couple of quotes and
Okay.
Get one and then, don't let it set. Make sure they get
Okay.
up there in time of the period. So,
Okay.
A1, there's no more damage that happens and it can get cleaned up for your mom.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you weren't, I talked with Jim. I was out there Friday night with Jim and the guy doing it. There's an old line, and Jim thinks that it is before they extended past the house next door to me, that before they ran the sewer any further back, because there's a manhole right there, before they ran the sewer all the way down 2nd Street, that they piped in from where her house is, just piped it in up to the main by mine.
Mm.
it was dry.
And it was dry, It had roots coming out of it and everything. So, they didn't. Jim thought it was mine and came in and did a dye test on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's not yours. Yours is coming out of the other side. And what it is so we have the main that goes down right now for the current sewer. You have the sidewalk here. It comes out of our house, between the road and the sidewalk, down the grass easement, and then cuts over in front of my house.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
200 feet or so from my mom's.
Yeah, the configuration is really odd.
Yes.
And when we've been lining the sewers, we found others like that they went nowhere, weren't doing anything, and we plugged them because of infiltration. And everybody thought this was the same situation. They didn't think there's no way they thought that sewer went to that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, I'm sure Harry told you they find that crazy stuff in old towns all the time. So
And
I mean,
Jim's seen
it's not common, but it happens.
But
I mean,
on
we've
that-
seen them go through backyards and go to the sewer on the other street for some reason instead of the street in front of them. Maybe like you said, when the sewer was over there first, those people got rid of their septic and ran over there, jumped on it, forgot to them to get on it earlier or something. But
On the ones that you paid, we'll reimburse, but on the other ones, if you just, after the work's done, or if you want to bring up the quotes or whatever, we can just pay the vendor directly.
Okay, that's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
No,
Thank you.
Thanks, sorry for the
Yep.
problem. Yeah, thank you.
Everybody should have a copy of our November 5th, 2024 meeting.
what's his name?
Bonnie.
Lonnie.
Fisher.
Winters.
Winters. Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say he looked really familiar. I didn't know where I named from. Okay.
Yeah, he grew up 2 houses down from me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know the name. I've seen him around forever around the school and stuff like that. He had kids or something evidently because I've seen him around the school
They
before
were about Zach's age.
too. Okay.
It would have been when they were your kindergarten.
My kids are still in school right now.
Yeah.
They're way
I
younger.
mean,
They're
I'm
way
saying
younger.
you didn't go to school.
Yeah.
Zach's not that old.
I'm old.
I know, but it's been a minute.
What are you, 20, 21?
I'm gonna draw Social Security in a couple years.
Maybe disability.
So you plan on getting a catastrophic injury?
I'm old. My Social Security number is 3.
So everybody should have a copy of our November 5th, 2024 meeting.
I will make the motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 5th.
I do see one error. Nathan Hendricks.
Where?
Nathan Hendricks' last name is miss. It just doesn't have an S on it. That's all.
Oh.
Oh, it's Hendricks.
Yeah.
Say I
That's
read
all.
it the other.
Nothing major. I can correct it on my end. You don't even have to resend them.
Are you kidding me? Are you a try?
I wasn't. I keep wanting to put Hendrick.
Yeah.
Hendrick.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes pending correction of
He
that
already made a
treasurer.
motion.
He made
So
the
you gotta
motion.
gotta take his motion back.
I made a motion originally not understanding that it's Hendricks, not Hendrick. So
I didn't.
Amend your motion. Approve with the
spelling error?
correction.
As amended.
Said amended. Yeah, approve with said amendment.
Okay. I will make. So I would like to amend my motion to approve the amendment, or to approve the minutes pending the amendment of Nathan Hendricks' last name. Right?
Yeah.
That's
Second.
okay.
Motion by Chris Johnson, second by Sidak. Any further discussion?
Wait, hold on. I have something.
No,
How do we spell Sorensen? I thought Sorensen was with an E.
Where?
Oh, come on.
I'm not even joking.
Come on.
Where?
Every instance I've ever seen Sorensen is in. It's
Where is
down in
Sorensen?
finance.
You guys are killing.
I'm not.
You're killing him.
Oh,
Oh.
his name,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's with an E.
Where?
Congressman Sorensen.
It's Sorensen.
S-E-N.
Under finance.
Ian at the end.
See, that's Michael Sorensen.
Yeah, Eric
You guys are
Sorensen.
killing
SORENSEN.
Yeah, we gotta amend the motion.
All right.
I got it.
Okay, I amend my original motion. I would like to make a motion that we approve the November 5th meeting minutes pending the correction of Nathan Hendricks' last name as well as Congressman Sorensen's. Stop reading.
Second.
Second by Sidak. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
In 100 years, historians will be looking at these now.
Yeah. Treasurer's report.
This report does have the sewer lining expense on it for $74,000. That is the major outlier on this. It also does have the coffee can reimbursement, and I did put the Gills. Gills is on here too, that you guys have to approve later in the meeting. So they are all on this as a.
Ryan, did you get mine?
So you know.
Oh, never mind.
Other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. Did you have any questions?
No questions. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay all outstanding debts.
Second it.
Motion by Pearson, second by Chris Johnson. Any further discussion, comments? And we'll roll call it. Pearson? Yes. Chris Johnson?
Aye. Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Gail Johnson?
Oh, yes.
Coffee down.
Green.
Purcell, yes. Motion carries.
So engineering, they're going to be here. Brand said to be here next week. The surveying's done for the 116 sidewalk engineering. I'll have an update on that at the next meeting, as well as the tower. And then we did start the planning for our MFT program for next year, which roads we're going to do. And so we sent that off to them. They're working on getting the bid package ready to send out in January.
Thank you, Brian. Treasury report, Shauna?
I don't have a lot to report tonight, just that we have finished Title VII and have sent it to Brian for review. And Code Part Title III and Title IV are finished. And other than that, I don't think there's any other business on my end.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I did send you today a waiver form to look at for the UTV and golf cart, and tell me whether or not you think that adds value at all, and if it does, then we'll need to work on modifying that.
Okay, I did see that. I did not have a chance to go through it completely today with everything else that was going on.
We're just working on finalizing the stuff to get the UTV inspections rolled up.
Okay. I mean, the village has a little bit of immunity already, but if you want,
Worth doing, tell us that. If you don't think the waiver is worth doing, just let us know that. I don't want to spend money if we don't need to. But if you think it adds value, then we'll do it and modify it and have it ready.
okay, all right, I will look at it tomorrow in further depth
Thank you.
and let you know.
Okay. Administrator's report, Mr. Bryan.
Believe it or not, we're halfway through fiscal year 24-25. So this is the 6-month report. If you look at the first sheet, you can see that we are way overspent, but that's because we have $209,000 in there for the lagoon, where we pulled the money from the loan and gave it to the contractor to buy the materials to begin the implementation or installation of the lagoon solar panels. If you look at the next page, then if I back out that money, you can see we're 93.67 to the good. Positive, but not enough to cover our capital for that month. But year to date, we're still fine. If you look at each of the individual ones, this is the October core funds broken out. But again, you can see for the month we had that $209,000 for the loan. Next slide backs that out. So everything's positive, and sewer was about break even. So again, nothing miraculous there. The core funds adjusted then positive. General was positive, just barely. Income is better than budget. Income and sales tax were both really strong, but we did have the one time a year expenses that are higher than budget. We don't, once a year we pay for the workman's comp and the liability insurance, so that's what drove the cost on that. Water was positive, income was slightly better, expenses were slightly better, sewer was negative, we spoke about that, and garbage was just normal. If you look at MFT, we had about $5,000 worth of income and no expenses. The only other expenses we'll have for MFT this year will be the little bit of engineering costs that we have to put together the bid package that we'll send out in January. TIF, we didn't have much. Income was about on target. It was a little, timing was a little off. We did better last month on the property tax. So decent month for TIF. BDD, the sales tax income is up. That's been struggling for a while, so we've had several months where that's been a little bit higher. So the BDD income's been higher, so that's been good. Positive month there. So again, not a whole lot to report that I didn't already cover on the summary sheet. And if you look at year-to-date core funds, the first one it's not adjusted. Then when we back out all of the ARPA spend and the lagoon spend, you can see we're about $304,000 to the good year-to-date. Next slide then is the core funds unadjusted. Then the core funds adjusted. So again, positive across the board as we back out the capital expenses. Year-to-date summary, really not a whole lot to report here. Like I said, income and sales tax is better. Illinois funds is outperforming. Water purchases are down. We think that's a volume amount. A little bit lower this year than last year. So not a whole lot there. MFT, this is what happens every year. We have the big expense in the summer, and then we play catch up. So we got 6 more months of roughly $5,000. So that $30,000 will come in, and we'll be about break even then for MFT for the full year. TIF, we've got $169,000 to the good, but we do have those expenses coming. So we've got the coffee can expense that we'll look at tonight, and then we've got 80% of the residential that gets kicked back to the other taxing bodies. I think we should have that probably in January to approve. BDD is just timing in terms of the expenses where we're a little bit better. So the summary sheet, I think I've covered all that. Checking, we have 448. We were down almost $90,000 in checking cash this month, and the majority of that is moving money from checking to savings at the end of last month in order to make sure we're putting as much into the Illinois funds as we possibly can. Year-to-date variance in checking, we're still positive by almost $78,000. Savings year-to-date, monthly variance went up 120, so like I said, we moved a bunch of money to Illinois funds. Year-to-date, we've got $370,000 we moved over there. So we have almost $2.5 million in the Illinois funds right now, bringing in, I think our biggest month is almost $8,500 just in interest or returns. And then the last slide is 6 months trends, so things that I see so far. Property tax is better than budgeted, and that positively impacts TIF. State income tax is better than expected. Sales tax is better than what we thought, and that positively impacts BDD income. Illinois funds is outperforming what we budgeted. MFT is a little bit better than budget. Expenses, we did have some capital carryover from last year that we're covering. Timing as expected, because not everything hits, every 12th month or every month. Water purchases were a little bit lower than expected, and then the code book costs were a little higher than expected. So other than that, things are tracking along pretty much the way we thought.
The Illinois funds, is that really interest or is it market?
It's an investment.
Okay,
It's a return.
Yeah,
Yeah, we say interest, but it's really a return. I
gotcha.
don't know, maybe some things are in things that are drawing interest, but I think it's mostly an invested return.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see the balance going up monthly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the other thing we did is for the amount of money we at the beginning of the year we said we were going to move so much money from checking into savings for capital. Well, then that got skewed because we were making $8,500 a month in capital. So what she does now is she looks at each account and whatever we made, she only sends the balance of what we committed for the capital for that month. So we're not
Gotcha.
almost like doubling, or not quite, but 20% or 25% more going into capital than what we thought, because that would have then drained down our cash, if that makes sense.
Yes,
So-
yeah, exactly. So you're just looking at the month to month
So
and
the
see how
net
much it
number's
goes up
still
every
going-
month. And theoretically, it could drop, but I mean, once it's invested in, it's probably super safe.
It is.
Bondy stuff, things like that.
And we did a research when we looked at it at the beginning, and we talked to several towns, and nobody ever said that they had lost any, capital.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Germantown's been in for 30 years.
They do what?
The Germantown's been in the Illinois funds, invested in them for 30 years at least.
Oh, they've been around that long?
Yeah.
And then the cash sheet, you can see all the yellow ones are where we moved money from checking into savings. So we're just trying to keep an operational amount in the checking account and moving everything to savings that we can, even if it's only for a month or two, to make sure that we're maximizing the returns that we're getting there. So, believe it or not, we'll start working on the next year's budget in January. I can't believe.
It's your favorite time of year?
I don't mind.
I know you don't.
Anything else for me?
You came in before.
Looking at something. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Committee reports. Mr. Pearson.
Yeah, we have the 2024-2025 tax levy ordinance to vote on. Brian can give us a little detail, but it sounds like it's pretty much a formality or something.
Yeah, this is just a matter of us telling, and Shanna, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but telling the public that the money that we levy for taxes, where that money is going to be spent.
Well, and this also tells the county how much we are levying and how much they send.
Right. Correct. Without this, we don't get any tax.
And also, Denise, before I forget, that email you sent me, we don't have it.
So it really doesn't change how we manage our money. It just, it's a step we need to go through to make sure that
We get it.
we get it. That's right.
So do I need to mention the total cost on here to really do that, or is it just the name of the ordinance?
I think the dollar amount is required to be made public. So.
Yeah, pardon me. I think first you need to make a motion to approve the amount as an estimated annual tax levy, and then you can vote on the ordinance.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to approve the amount.
I'm sorry, before you continue, didn't we do the estimated amount last meeting?
No, I don't think we voted. I think we looked at it, but we didn't vote.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't.
It just says working on the tax levy.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Makes perfect sense.
Now I know.
It could have been.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to make sure.
Make a motion to approve the total levy amount of $186,719.
Second. Someone's got to do it.
Pearson, second by Sidak. Any further discussion? We'll roll call it. Chris Johnson?
Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Caleb Johnson?
Yes.
Purcell, yes. Pearson? Motion carries.
And then I will make a motion to approve the ordinance levying the annual municipal tax for the Village of Hannah City, Peoria County, Illinois for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2024 and ending April 30th, 2025.
Second.
Ordinance number
11, or it'll be 2020, it'll be 24-11-02.
So not 2024. It can be 24.
Ordinances are always 24, two numbers,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
A motion by Pearson,
Second.
Johnson. Any further discussion, comments? And we'll roll call it. Sidak,
Yes.
Caleb Johnson.
Yes.
Excel, yes. Pearson,
Yes.
Chris Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now, this has to be filed, is that right?
Yes.
So electronic copies to Shanna and me and Cassandra, and hard copy to Cassandra, and you're gonna file it?
I will file it with Peoria County Clerk, correct? Thank you.
December. On the last page.
Just. Is it on the signature page?
Yeah, it says passed.
Oh, I would just cross it out, right, November?
An initial.
Yeah.
End of report.
Planning and zoning, Mr. Johnson. Chris, or Caleb Johnson.
I have nothing to report.
NTR.
Sanitary sewer, Chris Johnson.
Yeah, a couple things. So the bottom panels and the solar panels have been completed. They're working on the stands getting installed. I believe they were already installed actually. And the next step was going to be getting that top half of the panels complete and the wiring at the next step. We already discussed it, but the emergency sewer issue from last week. So I don't think I really need to go into more of that as well. That's it for sanitary and sewer. I do have an update that involves both sewer and water that I'll just include from your email with for the ordinances, but I'll talk about that after water.
Water, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir. Starting with refund adjustment shutoff list. I have 17 shutoff total. Totaling shutoff notices is $5,607.21. I have 8 in foreclosure. Yeah, 8 in foreclosure. Excuse me. The total amount in foreclosure is $779.58. Approximate gallons sold, 2,398,164. And I think that would be it. All you need.
Zero level pay stuff, I'm assuming.
Zero level pay.
I'm not even sure what level pay is. It's always
Where?
zero.
Oh, it's always. Yeah, I apologize, guys. That catches me off guard every time.
That's the number of people that are on a pay plan, right?
Level pay is a payment.
Level
plan.
pay is 0. I apologize.
No, you're good. I got everything.
Okay, yeah, so going back to water. So we have an email that was sent to the IAW about the price increase. They do not know, or we haven't gotten a response yet. We're thinking about getting one, or we're anticipating one, excuse me, probably mid-December. Is it Congressman Sorensen? Congressman Sorensen's office was scheduled to speak with the ICC last Friday. We don't have an update yet. We talked about that water main on First Street. So the work under the road is complete. We're hoping to bore and install the line in the right of the way this week. The last step will be to connect the homes, and the EPA deadline is 12/23. I talked about that. I mentioned there was an update for both sewer and water. It's just we're having Cassandra and Sarah working on the ordinances for water and sewer prices. We're hoping to have the info and ordinances ready for the last meeting of the calendar year. Brian, you mentioned water simply pass on the price increase. I'm going to let you speak to that. And then on sewer, we changed the minimum gallons on water some time back. I just want to align sewer. I wasn't really sure what you meant by that.
So
as well as should
a couple
have
years
a
ago, if you
minimum
guys remember, we took the minimum gallons on water from 2,400 down to 2,000, and we changed the pricing. On sewer, we didn't change it. We left it at 2,400. So we're just going to modify the sewer to match the minimum on the ordinance as well, which will have a little bit of impact, but not a huge impact. And so we're going to look at that tomorrow. So our plan is in January we have to vote on sewer pricing. So hopefully we'll have the number. Like you said, I sent them an email and they didn't know yet. So they haven't heard from ICC. So that they said hopefully mid-December we would have the new pricing number. So hopefully either the end of the year or the first meeting in January, we'll have ordinances ready on sewer and water pricing that we'll update and move forward with and communicate.
And that is it for sewer and water.
Thank you, Chris.
They did get a good section of the boring done today in the right of way. But I hope that'll be done by the end of the week. Hopeful. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you should have gotten a notification about it today on your app.
I did. Buildings, grounds, streets and alleys, we have nothing.
Nope.
CEC, Mr. Sidak.
There were two expenses for us. First of which is for a grant project for Gills. They did some siding and windows. The costs went way below estimated costs, which is awesome. And so our final grant amount came out to $4,527.85. I've not seen the work myself, but does anybody? They said it was on the north side, which is not the side that faces 116. The side that they did the work on. So
Right.
I saw them doing the work, but I had to gone over and look afterward.
But I will make a motion that we approve the disbursement of $4,527.85 to project 24C5.
Spelling errors.
The what?
Did you second it?
Thanks.
They said he's gonna look for spelling.
I said, no, let me look for spelling errors first. I was giving him a hard time.
Oh.
I'll second it. Yeah.
Yeah, that came in like a third of the cost.
Sidak,
Yes.
second by Chris Johnson.
That's crazy.
Any further discussion, comments? We'll roll call it. Caleb Johnson.
Yes.
Rexell, yes. Pearson.
Yes.
Chris Johnson.
Yes.
Sidak.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Alright, next order of business is the coffee can property tax
Oh, I'm
reimbursement.
sorry, real quick. Electronic copy to me and Sarah, hard copy, or original copy to Sarah. Sorry.
It's time to pay up to the coffee can again. And we have been advised to reimburse the developer $8,889.89. All the mathematics are on the back of this packet.
And the very last sheet shows the total with that amount year to date, so where they stand against the cap.
Still got a ways to go.
So we're going to end up paying out 113 or 116 or the 113 on the front page.
We're going to pay the $889.89 right now.
Correct.
Look on the third page.
Eventually, right, if we pay up to the amount that they put in, eventually we'll pay $231.98.94. We've paid after this. We'll have paid $116.809 of that $230 number.
Holy cow.
That was in the original redevelopment agreement. So I did the math. It's roughly 9.5 years more at the existing rate.
But hey, they got Harry Potter drinks there. So
Oh, do they?
yeah, they got butterbeer.
Ooh,
It's
I,
very good.
I dig it.
It tastes like the stuff at Universal.
I may have to go. That was amazing.
And I just found out that they have an educator's discount, so
Oh, look at you.
5%. 5% on a $5 cup of coffee. So nickel here or there. I will make a motion that we approve the reimbursement of $8,889.89 to the coffee can
From the TIF account as well.
from the TIF account.
Yep.
Second. Motion by Sidak, second by Pearson. Any further discussion? We'll roll call it. Pearson,
Yes.
Chris Johnson,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Caleb Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I do have another thing, but I'll save it for other business. This concludes my report. Let me just talk for 2 hours.
Maybe Eric will be here. I'll just go with the current one I got. So, administrative report for Peoria County Sheriff's Department. Yeah, 5 incidences reporting from November 11th to November 17th. Motor vehicle stop, Warren North Main. Motor vehicle stop, Center Street. Vandalism, Main Street, assault, Main Street, disorderly conduct, Farmington Road. End of administration report. So other business, Brian.
So we had the highway authority agreement, we talked about it at the last meeting. I just didn't put it on for a vote, which is why we're doing it this meeting, because we need to vote on it, sign it, and send it back. This is basically the EPA requirement for the ground issues from the tanks where refuel is located. Basically saying that,
Are they asking us for money?
no, it's just that we're agreeing to the corrective action plan.
There's nothing else on.
Yeah, it's the,
It's probably second or,
huh?
it's in the middle, never mind, I forgot. It's your 4th page back.
We're in exceedance of benzene levels in soil samples.
Shanna's spoken to them and she's legally we're good with everything.
And then our benzene's good.
Are they actually going to have to do remediation? Or at the last meeting we discussed that?
As long as the levels keep dissipating, they won't have to do remediation.
Oh, yeah. Because the tanks are gone out of there, right?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But with as long as all the levels keep going down and doesn't get any worse. And as long as we don't allow people to put a well in there, something like that, stuff like that. EPA has to put notification on that. So.
Can you remind me what was in the tanks?
Gas.
Yeah.
It was just
Gas
straight
station.
gas.
It was
gas
at
station.
the gas station used to do. If you didn't know that.
Long before you
I was
were
gonna say that's long before my time, guys.
Mm.
It was actually only like
Now you understand.
No, my time here.
Yeah, I understand the name refuel. 'Cause it used to be a gas station.
Didn't they find tanks under coffee can too?
Yeah.
They did.
Do you
Yeah.
have to do something similar to this then?
Do what?
No, he got
Didn't have
it.
to do
He
this?
took the tanks out
He
and
took
then they
them
had it
out.
all tested.
No, those tanks sat there for 60 years dormant or 70 years dormant before they were found. These got removed as soon as the gas station closed, pretty much.
Make a motion to approve the proposed highway authority agreement from Greenway Consulting.
Second.
Motion by Pearson, second by Caleb Johnson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
electronic copy to me and Shauna. Hard original to Cassandra for file.
Codebook Title IV approval.
So codebook for it was 100 pages, guys. So I didn't print the whole thing. You guys had an electronic copy of it. I just printed the title of the chapters. I'll go back to the bigger picture. Chapter 1 is what governs the board and the staff. Chapter 2 is zoning, which we haven't done yet. Chapter 3 was all things traffic, roads, that stuff. Chapter 4, this one is residents and their property. Chapter 5 is all things business and their property. Chapter 6 is going to be how do we handle the gray areas between the right-of-ways, the easements, all that kind of stuff. And then Chapter 7, which you'll be getting tomorrow, is the just the fee schedule that shows what people pay for what, and permits and that kind of stuff. And then we'll have everything done once all that stuff's done. 1 is done, 2's on hold, 3's done, voting on 4 tonight, 5 we have to work on, 6 we have to work on, 7 we'll be voting on at the next meeting. So this is garbage and weeds and proper motor vehicles, fireworks, burning policy. The big thing is, if you see my email, we aligned animal control regulations with Peoria County because that's where we subcontract from, so they're basically aligned. We added property registration for rental and vacant, and we're going to have a process for that where people have to pay a fee and register those properties. We generally simplified, made the regulations more consistent and enforceable, ensured the regulations aligned with what we're actually doing, incorporated some best practice language from West Peoria, and the page numbers are wonky, but we'll fix those as we go. So what happens if you say, yep, Title IV is okay, and eventually we'll come back and we'll vote on the entire book to be codified once all the chapters are done. And then we'll be done with the code book. Updated, simplified, enforceable, and specific to Hannah City, not just adopted from Peoria County. Make sense?
Clear as mud.
Good. That's what I was going for.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve Codebook Title IV.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Caleb Johnson, second by Sidak. Any further discussion, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Caucus, December 2nd, 6 p.m. at your designated locations. So everybody knows where they're going.
I'm gonna be home.
You're not going to come up and support your trustees?
I don't even know if I'm going to be in town.
We have the Park District and we have the Village Hall.
I'll be here.
The Park District is Citizens Party and the Village Hall is People's Party.
Park District, what can you remind me of the doors at the Park District we'll walk in? Is it is it the
Not the
daycare?
daycare, it's the side.
The side where the gym is.
Yep, you go in the left-hand door. Gymnasium.
Thank you.
Gym door.
Appreciate you.
Remind everybody who's going where.
Let's see. Chris and Tony, you are going to the Park District building, and Zach and maybe Eric will be going to Village Hall. I better be there too because I'm nominating.
I'll nominate him and I'll vote for him.
Is he up for election?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Does he know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
He does.
Is he coming?
Hopefully.
Said he was.
I don't know that he has to be there. He just
Nope.
has to be nominated.
Exactly.
I wasn't in mine.
Uh-uh.
I've never been at one.
You will this year.
I will. We're a reminder about it.
Just real quick, you're going to send the information on Phil McElhinney's arrangements and stuff. Can you include Cassandra on that so we can send a flower arrangement?
Something.
Sure. Yeah.
They may do in lieu of flowers or something.
Whatever. Just, yeah, I need to know.
Before we close, I had a question I wanted to ask you guys. We had mentioned it, I think, like 2 or 3 different meetings now. You guys were entertaining the thought of maybe in the future looking into a enforcement officer. I just kind of wanted to bring that up again, especially with all these code updates happening. There's a couple nuisances that continually keep happening in town, and I don't really know how appropriately to proceed, like when we're having these issues over and over again. I saw a dog almost bite somebody the other day, like while walking.
That's animal control.
Right, but I mean, were we just like with the ATVs, with the golf carts, with all
You can
these?
let us know.
So what are the citizens supposed to do? Do I
Just let us
Well,
know.
the dog you need to call Peoria County Animal Control because we pay them for.
Yeah.
There's a basic set of services that they provide the entire county. Then we pay Peoria County Animal Control for like the complete set of services they provide.
So like
out there.
animal bites, picking up strays.
Removal of, I think if an animal gets in the house or something, they'll come remove it. That's something I think that they only provide the towns that pay the extra or something. So
Like if raccoons get in your house, they'll come.
And I get that. It's like every day I'm seeing just random dogs everywhere.
It's everywhere.
call Peoria County Animal Control.
Yeah.
Call
And you just, yeah.
If you don't call, they
you
won't.
call-
Nothing will ever get
Well,
done
if you don't
about
call, they don't know.
Yeah.
it. You know,
We're
just gotta
working on a
call.
process for the ATVs and
Okay, and I get it. It's fine. I thought I'd bring it up. There's a specific dog that keeps walking on 116, and I'm just waiting for the day. I've seen people drive off road twice trying
Yeah,
to
you
get it.
gotta. I mean,
But I
I
know what
lived
you
on the
do.
other side of town. I had one.
I had
I
a
called-
conversation with the owner, and he's refusing to do anything about it.
Take a picture of the dog and where the location is, so you show it when you have.
And I'm sure everyone sees that
animal-
white dog
no,
that
when
walks by the
animal
grain,
control
the old
comes
grain
out,
place.
When animal control comes out, you have proof this dog was
Yeah.
not on their property. Because if they're not on their property, they can be issued a ticket.
Call every time they're loose.
Yes.
Call every time you get around. When I lived on the other side of town, I had one that was a menace.
Become
I kept calling every time that thing was loose. I was calling the animal control, and they showed up and tried to catch it, couldn't. And finally, it got taken care of. But nothing's going to come down unless they think it's a problem. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you don't call, they definitely won't.
Yeah.
And if they hear about it once, they drive through and don't see it, then they'll definitely go away. But if you keep calling and they realize it's an issue, it's going to keep getting more and more attention. So
Yeah, we finally had to do that with the lady over on Pekin Lane that had a dog. He's like, "Oh, he keeps getting out." Well, put up a bigger fence. Well, he keeps digging under the fence. Well, put rocks in front of the fence.
Exactly. Well, there's a
Put a rope
pit bull
on it, not my
that
problem.
ran and attacked Cowboy, not that long ago, bit his neck, and like when we were walking around in the alley, and I'm just, I understand. I haven't called animal control, but it's getting ridiculous. It is every day. I'm seeing dozens. It's like, and now I have a sick cat living under my neighbor's, and I can't catch it. I've been live trapped, and I can't catch it. So
it's the number one thing posted on Hannah City Happenings.
That's not just-
whatever you do, don't call animal control. Just keep posting on the City Happenings.
yeah,
And hope that the Facebook fairy will take care of your problem.
exactly.
But I will tell you, it is not only this town.
Oh yeah.
I honestly think we need to abolish pets because there are not very many responsible people. That's my
Kill them all.
That's an extreme.
I don't say that. They don't. They should have to pass the test to have an animal, which is sad.
License.
Creaky board meal.
I appreciate it. And then one more thing, we
Once
can
you
take
run
it
on that
offline,
platform.
but I could not find. I know we had another yard
What?
waste
You
pickup
didn't
day,
see my dog bite
but I can't
yesterday.
find it on the calendar. Did I already miss
I'm
it?
not-
Yesterday.
I love dogs,
Is there
but
another
if
one?
you don't train them, we're not gonna.
We're done for the year. We'll do
Okay.
one in the
Just
spring.
burn it. We have an open burning policy. You don't need to.
I know. It's just everything's been wet. That's why. Okay. Yeah, I missed it. I was looking on the calendar and I didn't see it. I must have been looking right.
Wait till the sun's shining one day. The pavement heats up pretty good. Just spread your brush out on 116 and I'll throw it out fast.
That's it, guys. I got nothing else.
Did you have something else, Doug?
Yeah. Just some citizens brought to my attention some increased demand for some street lamps in strategic spots. I was informed of a recent near miss with motor vehicles on Lakeshore and Carroll. They pointed out the location on the map to me just
Because the street lamp wasn't on.
because apparently there's no lighting and they couldn't see.
Like they almost had a parked vehicle that didn't have lights on, or two vehicles driving at night with headlights on. They almost hit because no street lamp.
Wouldn't you take that to the HOA over there first?
No, they don't control anything in the streets.
Good try.
I just got pulled aside and said, "You're in the park, or you're on the board, aren't you?" And they so we need
Oh, well,
some
that
lights.
explains it.
We need some lights
lighting
in
is
here.
definitely.
Oh, it's dark all over town.
I told him that's a conversation we've been having for like a year now.
It's just a matter of timing, I think, in terms of when we're going to be able to afford it.
That reminds me, I need to get back with Joe about that iTech thing.
Our next board is December 3rd, the day after caucus.
And my birthday.
Huh?
And my birthday.
December 2nd, your birthday?
December 3rd.
You going to be here?
Probably. I think maybe. We'll see.
I'll bring you a cake.
Yeah, I'm not a big cake guy.
What do you like?
Busy corn fuzz, but I like busy corn fuzz.
What about Treskers?
I don't know if I'll be here though. I can't
Brownies,
commit to being here.
Tresker?
I can't commit to being here.
With sprinkles in? Sprinkles or nuts?
Stop it.
Who's that?
Okay.
Treskers.
Oh, I was talking about sprinkles.
There's nothing else to count. Meeting adjourned.
Make sure
Thank
I
you,
get
Shauna.
the minutes.
Thank you.
Bye, Sean.
So Chris, when Zach was, how old were you, Zach?